Anyway, we're going live, so no more on Bongo talk, as I say.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't knock my microphone over with a cup.
Yeah.
I'm trying to move out of the way so I don't knock anything over.
Move that a little closer.
Yeah. Right. Yes. There's also other things I should have done before I hit the live button, like start the recording. This is all grand, all part of the course on Let's Go JoJo, and it's dial time for me to read out the following to you, the listener/viewer. You are listening to Let's Go JoJo, the weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
How are you?
And it's me, Brian, who hopefully has recovered fully from his cough. We will find out in the next hour or so.
He's back, baby.
Because I had a cough, we've got so many more things to talk about. We are covering the anime that aired in the fortnight of February the 4th to February the 17th, with a few exceptions, starting with the show that gave this show its name is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean, Episode 33, Gravity of the New Moon, in which gravity goes higgledy-piggledy.
Right. Is it just me, or when you were a child, did you ever pretend like you're lying down on the floor, but you're a mountain climber, so you're climbing up the side of the couch, that kind of thing, but it's just like it's the flat of the ground? Because that's what this show was to me. I was like, oh, I remember this game. This was good crack.
Yeah, I did things like that. Yeah, I did take a photo on holiday. It was kind of tilted at an angle and said, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Exactly. All that fun stuff.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the entire piece of photo. I was like, "Whoa, this isn't right."
I'm trying to think if I ever did that. I don't know. The closest I would come is thinking about like knowing how they did the Batman Adam West era of them climbing up the side.
Yeah,
of the
with
wall.
the wire in the capes to pull the kind of thing. Yeah.
And I say no because that's the kind of thing a parent gets off in telling their children. You know how they do that.
Sort of movie magic for you.
Yeah.
It was the bit where they can't touch the floor is slugs rather than floor is lava. And there was a third thing in this season that felt very like a child game to me, and I'm really enjoying it for that. Yeah.
Yeah, getting locked in the maximum security wing and beating the shit out. Oh yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
I went to a pretty hard school. Yeah.
So Jolene is pondering weather reports stand and wondering whether or not she'll be able to use it. But then she falls asleep and she looks just so adorable. And Asui is going to make his move and propose to her. He pulls out the engagement ring he'd been saving up to buy.
It cost him a lot of prison-related cigarettes or something, whatever the currency is in prisons, to buy this. And
this is my moment, yeah.
He's got a good. Oh, this is a great fucking idea, but
we're waiting for this day.
There are crocodiles, and these girls are fucking morons. Also, I appreciate that the child is driving the car. That we just mentioned that beforehand.
Hey, Charlie, check it out, fucking alligators. Hey, fuck you, alligators. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, got it right in the face. Yeah, fuck you, alligators. Yeah, pieces of shit.
Nice to have a bit of levity before literally the world goes topsy-turvy.
Yeah, fun. Yeah. What's this?
Oh yeah, can you hang on to this? That's the other bit of levity before everything goes to shit. Is Emporio goes to Hermes. Can you hold on to this while I look at the map to see where we're going? And like, he puts his little hand over her hand and then drops an entire computer and monitor and prints.
So he's not looking on a paper map. He's going to look up online the map. Yeah, and he has a very old computer. So what are you going to do?
A GPS is getting smaller and smaller these days. 2012.
But that's the ghost of a dead computer, so that's a very old computer. So yeah.
But all having a grand day out. Fucking Poochie's at Cape Canaveral. He's just gotten in at just the last group just gone in like before the.
Well, a guy says, "Oh, he's with me. Let him in," and then that guy won't shut the fuck up. He's one of those guys on the tour.
Pretty good favor I did you, right? I feel pretty good about myself. My good deed for the day, yeah? That's what you're here for. And said, okay, dude, you got your good deed for the day. Now fuck off. I'm dear. Okay, buddy, Jesus, all right, God. And then that dude, fun's like, wherever you see, I think weirdly, you catch a little hints of it on the way here, and then the guy is like slurping his drink, and then kind of, the droplets are flying that way, and then this guy's going, whoa, and he just careens sideways and impales himself on a railing. And no one notices. It's
off to the sides. It's out of people's view. They're all really excited to be at Cape Canaveral. They're all looking at rocket ships. They're not looking at the guy who's just gotten impaled on the railing. Yeah.
Meanwhile, back on the highway, it's just like it's just me. It's just like, whoa, what's happened up ahead? Some car, multiple car pipe is fucking like cars rolling down the road at us. Jesus, some accident. It's like, what the hell? Was it an explosion or tornado? Now people are flying past us. What the hell's going on up here? Jesus, fucking Emporio gun it, right? I'm trying, but I'm giving it fucking like all the fucking pedal here, but it's just really like fucking tough. It's like something pushing against us. That's the kind of realize and saying, we're not going sideways. You seem to be going very gradually, driving uphill until we're driving vertically. And there's some fucking like grip on those tires, so it's like they get like completely like acting that way. And it's when the car is like holds on for a good long while, but this is the effect of Fuji's now amalgamated stand. It's kind of developing. It's kind of showing its true form and its true ability right now. So now gravity, at least within a certain radius, it's now working in the wrong direction. So you're going to fall forever sideways across the landscape.
Down is now north in a limited direction. Yeah.
And who knows what it's doing elsewhere in the world, because it's pointed out that the gravity at Cape Canaveral is sort of the lowest gravity on the planet, which is why they launched rockets from there. Which I do wonder whether that was the factoid
that inspired it. Yeah,
and then he's worked his way out from that little factoid.
Yeah, but it's having a full time in the car. I mean, like, no, you should kind of keep your seatbelts on for us, because Hermes goes right out to the back windshield and hanging on by the keyboard of the ghost computer phone, saying, "Don't let me go, Jesus, I'm falling. I'm falling, but I'm going sideways. What's happening?" Said, "I'm the guy. It's very desperate to try and get out of the car." Now, when Anna's free, it's got obviously a diver down in this craft and put its hand into the wall, now the ground, and they can kind of climb up that way. But everyone else is like, obviously Jolene can just kind of rappel up with stone free, but Hermes just falls to her apparent doom. It's like, "I'll see you later, bye."
I mean, she has a sticker power, but it's not to stick to things, so it's not quite. Yeah, it's not useful in this regard, I guess.
Yeah, there's also there's lots of discussion of should we wait for the Speedwagon Foundation. And Anasie's like, "No, we've got to get. This is our chance. He's injured. We can finish him off now." He's looking. He's like, Jolie wants to kill him, but he's like, part of her still wants her dad to show up and rescue her.
Do we let Joe Taro like take the son as well? He beat up the he got the fucking like the kill shot on fucking what's his face from Diamond is Unbreakable.
Akira, yeah.
Akira, yeah. So they fun.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like the ambulance got the kill shot in that one, but
but Jotaro wasn't there, it would have been, something else entirely. But when we gotta wheel him back out again, you gotta get him to bail us out again. It's like, no, come on, Jolene, you gotta be your own woman.
And also, on the chance that he doesn't get here in time, we gotta do this now. Yeah.
You gotta kill that priest. So that's kind of why I'm saying, leave her music go over. Either she's dead or she'll be fine. She kind of keep pressing on to complete her objective. No, it's what you would have wanted, I presume.
And obviously, it's a chance for him to go closer to Jolene and maybe get a different proposal on. We'll see.
So they climb sideways up, and again, it's as far as the entrance, like kind of like entrance like boots, gateway boots. They kind of climb up on there. That's when the fun game comes in. It's like fun. Oh yeah, fun. We're on the wall of it, but it's on the side. They're trying to take stock of the right and saying, "Shit, this is some crazy stuff we've gotten ourselves wrapped into right now." But the priest is fucking nearby. Poochie's nearby. I can fucking feel him. I can't see him, but no, he's fucking somewhere nearby. He might be right behind me. Whoa! That's not White Snake. That's not the Green Baby. It's some kind of White Snake, Green Baby, weird amalgamation thing.
It's like White Snake wearing a far too small Green Baby costume, basically.
And it's extra creepy this time. And introduced itself by turning Jolene's hand inside out.
Yeah, I think it made the inside of her hand heavier than the outside of her hand, so it kind of like burst through her own arm. And I was just like, that's really nasty. I didn't want to see that, but
yeah. So like wide stake, you can find pop a CD everything has a fast precise punches, but this has got something far worse, something much more gruesome, and that actually it's getting high stakes now. But it's like in the grand tradition of your JoJo, like the final villain, their like ability is something very, very like simple, and all the simplest ones tend to be the most powerful ones. If you had like plenty of time travel ones, or like kind of like time or kind of editing kind of ones here, and this one can just affect gravity itself and all that entails.
Yeah.
So some fun physics jokes coming your way in the very near future.
Yep. And in the comics world, Part 9 started in the past.
Hey, yeah. It was I was going to say it was threatening that for a while. It's JoJo Land, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, fucking A.
It's Hawaii set.
Cool.
And the characters feel a bit like there's definitely a Part 5 vibe to it because of the crime. But the two main characters, there's definitely a bit of Weather Report and Poochie to them. But
okay, bit of synchronicity,
as hero, yeah, because I think the main characters is weather related. Might be called Purple Rain. His stand, I think maybe.
Wait, didn't we have a Purple Rain?
Yeah, purple haze.
Yeah.
That was
I could be wrong.
Fugo's one.
Yeah.
Is this like is this going to be like this? Because this is set, I assume, in the alternate JoJo timeline.
This is set in the JoJo timeline
from Steel Ball on, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So this could be an alternate version of Weather Report, or what Weather Report could have been potentially.
Yeah. Well, that's what he did with JoJolian.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wrong rain-based song. It's November Rain.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Well, if he's got his teams, I guess, coming back to you, thinking like, maybe I want another stab at that and see if I can make of it again. And let's not forget that the whole saga was started off in Part 1. It was also two feuding brothers who were drawn into like an inescapable conflict. It's always been in there. It's doing that.
Yep. And he has a JoJo Joestar and Dragoda Joestar are the two quote-unquote brothers, quote-unquote, because once you read it, you'll see something else is going on there.
They're not related by blood.
Yeah.
So it makes it okay when they kiss.
Don't give the fandom any fucking excuses.
They're way ahead of us. They're there on day one, and they've got this already chambered and ready to fire.
So for JoJo's this week. Then we've got Me and Roboco, episode 7, The Past and Roboco. The past being probably the 4 weeks ago that this aired on. In which a scientist shows up with some robots to fight Roboco. And she beats the robots and also beats up Gachi Gorilla in the process.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure if Roboco knows that she's hiding the fact that she was a war robot, or does she think, like the little girl is suggesting, is like, oh, these are your admirers, and she's having to turn them down. It's like, I'm not sure how confused Roboco is about the given situation. Given that she also beats up Gachi Gorilla, she's very confused about any given situation.
I better my popular phase, I say.
Yeah.
But this is good timing because they did just do a chapter this week
about the evil robots and stuff.
The continuing of this, where Gachi Gorilla got beat up even worse than he did in this episode.
Gachi Gorilla is tough, and that's about it. And a good friend, I suppose. That's more important.
Yes. Yeah.
He has guts, and guts count for a lot. I'm going to go do some much of that now. It's like they never make any kind of illusion. Yeah, he's just one of those kids, and it was always climbing trees and skinning his knees, and simulating when Piccolo prevented Gohan from getting wiped out by Nappa and a bit of Dragon Ball. He loves doing that.
But this is very Dr. Marashito from Dr. Slump of. The guy turns up with robots to fight the comedy robot of the comedy robot series, and
I presume all the various comedy robots that show up are assume parodies of specific or general kind of tropes. Because the first guy's I'm a comedy crab robot. The second guy's like
Well,
like a big night guy, and I was like, I've seen a night robot like a million times, so I can't tell you.
yeah,
But that
well,
kind of thing,
Robocop
yeah.
plays that one saying, "Oh, I thought it was a big aubergine. I just one diced him up. I thought I'm a murderer. I'm a maid. I meant to do that kind of thing." Hey.
True.
Robocop, I think you're fibbing. No.
There we got Detective Conan, the culprit Hanazawa, episode 2. Meeting people is a mystery. He's still looking for a place to stay. He's decided that it's difficult
Do a
for him
flat
to.
share.
Yes, because he thinks it will be difficult for him to plot the murder he's going to do if he's staying alone in a house
He
where
could
there's
be
been a
murdered.
murder. If he stays in a house where there's been a murder where there's other people he can make friends with, then he'll be a lot calmer and he can calmly plot his murder.
He won't need to fantasize about murdering people that he
Yes.
encounters that give him minor annoyances, as you do as a murderer.
It's even better than if your flatmate then is also the shadowy culprit who's applying his own murder, but is giving it a whole. He's got a whole different thing planned out.
Yeah, he's got a hat though. He's a completely different murderer. He's a different guy.
Yeah. And you notice his tenants right this way, just shifting this from the skeezy landlord and saying, fuck, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm paying good rent, I'm paying my deposit, get the fuck out of here. I don't have any grass. It's like, okay.
I've heard of like this kind of thing where you're a stranger in a foreign land, you're kind of looking around, it's like, who can I ask? And as an Irishman, if I look for the man with the biggest head, I just go, there's another Irishman, I can ask him. That kind of thing. It's that, but with like shadowy figures who plan on murdering. Yeah.
Yes, there's also a good bit where he's complaining that people are committing murders in rental properties without putting down the proper sort of tarpaulins to cover up the stains. Which somebody
It's a
think
lot
of the
for the
poor
landlord.
landlords.
Yeah.
Poor landlords. I try to spin it their way. But say, what the fun to tell yourself on, lads? You gotta do it properly, or you're never getting that deposit back. They'll pull you up on anything.
To be fair, like the landlord tries to start shit in this, and the murderer who's already living in the apartment is kind of like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna make something of it? I might murder you. Watch it, buddy." And landlord's like, "Okay, I gotta go then." And that same landlord gets drunk and surly later on.
He's the letting agent. The landlord's already been murdered in this house. He was killed by.
You're right. Yeah, sorry. This is the letting agent.
Oh, who even knows? Fucking middlemen. Errand boys at the
Same
very
fucking
least.
industry. Yeah.
Because he offers to show them where the landlord was murdered by a giant Tanuki statue dropping on his head, which is how he then gets murdered later in the episode. And then the suspect is arrested after being spotted committing the murder by an elementary school child.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because they had a real connection as shadowy figures who plan on murdering in, I think it's Baker Town, and that's why I was thinking Baker Town. But but it was just really funny, and I was just like, it's exactly the jokes you expect, and they go exactly as you expect them to go, and it's still really fucking funny. So good job.
He's dead. How am I going to afford his rent now? Shit.
But yeah, I mean, the guy was planning on screwing them over anyway, so we hear from his inner monologue before he gets murdered. So
it's the opposite of Conan. Is it? This is not a misunderstanding. This motherfucker deserved.
And then the end credits suddenly focus on the dog. So I don't know if the dog's showing up next week or.
I hope so. It's a very cute dog.
Yeah. Then in Real Detective Conan, it is Kudo Yusaku's detective show part 2, where it turns out the reporter did it because her friend had stolen her locked room mystery idea, and then she accidentally...
Which she'd shared online with her. The connection between these people was they all played Detective Online, or whatever the fuck the name of the thing is.
The Holmes, whatever it was called from I mentioned last time. And
Sherlock Holmes Memorpaper.
Yes.
Yeah,
there were visual clues in the other locations for you, the viewer, to have spotted the connection. I had not spotted them.
No.
But it was quite so. Yeah, so she'd explained to her in the chat room to these 3 other people who played the game, one of which was her friend. Her friend had then used that because she was supposed to be coming up with the idea for a TV script, for somebody at the TV station. And she was like, "Do you think this is good enough to suggest to them?" They said, yes. But then her friend used it in her online fan fiction, or just online fiction that she'd written herself.
Yeah, she's like, "Sorry, I used your idea in my story." It's like, that was my cool murder idea. I get mad at you. I knock your head against the thing and kill you. Now to use that to cover up my crime and kill the other 2 people who know this fucking how I covered up this crime.
And as Conan's though explaining all the stuff before they do the reveal, he's getting suspicious because Kaito Kid has not spotted how the contraption used to commit this crime, and he's like, "You're an expert in contraptions.
Yeah,
How
you're
are you
good
not
at
spotting it?"
contraptions.
But it turns out that it was not Kaito Kid, because after they've revealed the murderer and had her arrested, it turns out that Kaito Kid was spotted in Osaka while this TV broadcast was happening. And then he turns around to speak to Kaito Kid, and he's already gone. And he's like, "Oh my goodness, it was vermouth. I better go and tell my parents. I hope they're well." And they open the door to the parents, and the parents are perfectly well. And also, their house guest from the FBI is there, actually has been there all the time, as has the rest of the FBI.
I liked the double twist. The thing was like, hey, that's not actually Kid disguised as his dad. It's Vermouth disguised as Kid disguised as his dad. But it was like they were like, haha, we knew you were going to do that, so we pretended to eat at the Italian restaurant, but we didn't. We didn't get food poisoning. This was a setup so we could track you, you fucker. Which I was like, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yes, because they noticed they'd been being watched, and so they wanted to lure the person watching them into the house so they could find out about them. Anyway, meanwhile, Vermouth goes to Jin and explains that there's somebody staying in Japan at that house who's a threat to the organization, but she could kill them at any time, which is our friend from the FBI. But that's revealed to us before we get the reveal that actually, no, the FBI had set the trap up for Vermouth, and she's just walked.
They know
straight
that
into it.
you know that they're there, and that's the trap, you fool. Yeah.
And also, the mum's fairly certain that Vermouth wouldn't have harmed Conan because Sharon likes him, because that was what she knew her as when they were both actors. And the plot does generally hold that up. It's like there is something up with Vermouth in that there's plenty of opportunities. It feels like she knows that Conan is Shinichi, and she's never revealed it to anybody else in the Black Organization. And there's plenty of opportunities where she could have just murdered him, and she has never done that.
Like they ask her in the car, it's like, why didn't you kill anyone while you were there? So like, I could do that whenever the hell I feel like. I'm not in a mad rush for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's stuff still up with her beyond what everybody else is up to in the Black Organization. Also, there's the issue that she does not appear to have aged in decades. So
Master of Disguise.
Yeah, could be that. And obviously, the link from the earlier stories is that both the mum and Vermouth learned their makeup skills from Kaito Kid's dad, the previous Kaito Kid.
I like the fact that the only part of the parents and the FBI's plan that went wrong was the man was really annoyed. She had to hide the Italian food in her best bag. It's ruined now. Like that's the only bit that went wrong of their whole plan.
Yeah, but the way they did the lock room trick was basically they were thumb locks, and so what she did was she had each time she had something which would clip onto the lock with a weight sitting on it. She'd sit the weight on the door handle, close the door, and then pull the handle down to drop the weight so it would close the lock, and then everything would just spill.
So you'd have like the frying pan weighted on the handle, and then when you pull the handle, the frying pan comes down and pulls the thumb lock with it.
Yeah.
And that with all the other weights. So it was done exactly the same way using different objects. That's why it was such a good mystery.
Yeah, the way she was caught out was she swapped the watch on her hand to cover up the wound she'd taken when the second victim fought back after he got stunned. And she'd also laid the
There's also the fact that she'd swapped her watch onto her right hand, even though she's left-handed, or the other way around. I forget which one.
And she'd laid the chopsticks in the second victim's house.
The way a left-handed person would.
The way a left-handed person, but the photo shows that it was right-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a perfectly fair locked room mystery, and it's a good locked room mystery. So yeah, it's a good mystery, but then it's got the extra layer of Black Organization stuff, which itself has like multiple layers. Oh, it's this was what I wanted. A nice little Detective Conan story like this.
Yeah.
Then we got Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. Episode is 17, Legend Leaf, and episode 18, Welcome Back. Ocho, he disappears into the woods.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
Yes, they managed to get the leaf to grow with the help of the watering can. That God, I can't remember their name. The little
Nafula. The
Nafula.
silent.
Yes,
Nafula, who is a plant, a figurative plant, put there to help you solve this part of the test.
Yep.
Yes.
Student council always waiting there, make sure everything runs smoothly.
He is in the student council, or it. I'm not sure what
She.
Nafula. She is in the student council, right?
Yeah,
yes.
has uniform.
The student council uniform is underneath the sack.
Yes.
Basically.
Turns out the leaf is incredibly goofy, but also when it grows, Iruma gets a vision of Dracula wrapping an arm around him and saying, "Are you the one?
Is it you?
Is it you?"
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And this episode generally does feel like the clearest indication of that Dracula was trying to seed some sort of change in demon culture when the goofy legend leaf at the end reveals that he was waiting. The tasks were designed to bring the least demon-like demon to him.
Because it requires cooperation. It requires other people to selflessly help you out.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Because Nafula was there, it's like, oh, won't somebody please help me? I'm trapped in these vines, basically. So
when that's your competitor and you should leave that guy alone. It's just like, no, it requires you to be like a real sound out, nice guy.
Yeah.
Which Iruma is, and therefore will improve demonkind if he gets to be king.
Yeah, and I guess Dracula has already improved it to a certain point because Baal's plans to overthrow this isn't caused by Iruma being there. It's the stuff that's already set in motion. But
yeah, there's a lot of goodness in the demon world already. I mean, the three most powerful demons who are next in line to be Demon King, none of them want the job, and all of them just want to fucking dote on their grandchildren. So it's like, yeah, we're doing pretty good right now. We could do better. So yeah.
I suppose the rest of the class as well. I mean, like Agares, he's like, no, let everybody hold up in his little castle, and and he got 1 point for doing that. And Kimberly, rather than kind of slaughter all of the wildlife in the forest, and kind of made them kind of for her subjects, and they get that. So they get kind of special commendations then for doing that when they're doing all the ranking. It's like, hey, for doing all that now, fun special recommendation. You get to rank up now because you displayed great aptitude.
Before we get to that, we get the young king first, where it first looks like Orobos is going to get it, and then Jazz points out that the teachers can't add up the points correctly.
I was going to say, because they can't give Jazz any recommendations because he got 0 points. He washed the fuck out, but he can go, objection, you didn't count the pot. The pot was worth a bunch of points. And she was like, oh shit, we didn't add up the pot. Yes. That was worth a lot too.
So it's like, hey, fucking all right, Lead and Iruma, you're joined winners. This is like first of everyone. And then Orobus, you're like, you're fucking like, by that time, by your third point saying, I'm not a 2 guy anymore. I'm not a 2 guy anymore. Yes. I came third and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, because he was on stage.
Technically he came second because they were joined first. But it's third. It's third.
Yeah, and he was on stage going, I've won, but he doesn't feel good. But surely I did everything correctly. I did everything by the book. I've got all this massive amount of fruit and I won. But why do I feel bad? And then it becomes clear in the next episode when they're talking to him is that they've tried to find Robin as well later, and clearly they've sent Robin to try and track down who ensorcelled Orobos, because he has gaps in his memory. And
but the other thing he kind of gets as character growth is all the other guys from the classes and stuff going like, tough luck, man. Maybe you'll get your religious place in line next time. He's like, I don't actually want that. I was going for first. He's like, oh. Well, sorry you didn't get first. I mean, you did pretty good. You gave him a good run for their fucking money. They're all friendly with him now. They realize, he's just a fucking goober like everyone else.
He's a bit more approachable for the thing. Good going 3 guy. I'm not a 3 guy. I wanted. Sure you are 3 guy. That's the nickname that sticks to you in school now for the thing you did.
Yeah, that is just the broadcast battler is the one who constantly wants to ask him about being a 3 guy, and that makes me suspicious. It's just him in both these episodes. Is the one needling.
Yeah, is it the fact that it's the broadcast guy saying that? Is he the guy who spreads the rumors, which is why he was stuck with that fucking rumor in the first place? That kind of thing.
Yeah, because everybody else seems fine. It's just that guy he's sticking the needle in when he's doing that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the second half is those everybody getting their ranks up, and then just
Like a
a big
big
old
party.
party. Yes, and then and then an after party back at Grandpa's house. And also just like Iruma's like, I've been away for so many episodes from my two best friends. I'm never gonna let them go again. Like grabbing onto.
They're sat up on the thrones, and he won't let go of their hands. That kind of thing. It's very cute. Yeah.
Please, orderly queue for the autograph, please.
The two brothers finally learn the confusion of the teachers.
I was
as well.
disappointed about that. I was hoping they'd draw that out more because it was funny, but just the confusion on everyone's faces was still pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, Alan being like the creepy, he's trying to encourage people, but he always comes across creepy when he gives them little head rubs and things. Him and the botanical teacher were really geeking out over the legend leaf as well.
I also like the thing of it. It's like, I'm going to show you a thing that's never been seen in the demon world. And it's like, we saw that last season.
Yes.
Sorry.
The crazy year, you know.
Yeah.
And then next week we get to see the teachers have a party, and then also go out, hunt down Ocho.
A manhunt. And the fun Robin being intense, but that's always thing as well. Oh, he's just this happy-go-lucky dude. He's always trying to fucking, fun pat up.
He's often getting grabbed by the head by Caligo and just like thrown at something. He's a wacky character. It's like, no, he shoots real good and he's a good hunter. And it's just like
hardcore.
We'll get to see him do something.
I guess he also passed the archery exam.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got Fire Hunter, episode 4 and episode 5, assuming you watched it and haven't given up on this yet. Flickering Flame and the Spider Child.
Did I watch? No, I watched it. How long was it ago? I watched the third one last time. I didn't go near it since. Yeah, I haven't gone near it.
You haven't gone near it? Okay. That's
okay.
Oh,
I've watched it. It's still interesting. The animation in Flickering Flame, man. There's one where they're climbing over a log, and I was just like, Jesus Christ! There's like just like really twitching out rather than animating. It was it's not good. But if you want, we can just leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. We'll keep the episodes shorter.
I'm still enjoying it, but like that's fair enough. Yeah.
Also, you're out of here. To talk about. Yes, you're out of here, Mamoru Oshii and Junji Ishimura. TRIGUN Stampede, episode 5 and episode 6. We've got Child of Blessing and Once Upon a Time in Hopeland.
Bit of a kind of twofer here because we're getting a bit more kind of Wolfwood centric again. It actually
works as a twofer, yeah, because they're wandering through the desert as you do. You're wandering along, and your party comes across an abandoned town. But it's not so abandoned. There's a giant machine gun armed man chasing down Vash and just screaming his name.
You sort of kind of remember as like being to this place, and it's like, oh boy, this place, like, it shouldn't need a plant to like be the reactor for the town because it has these windmills, but the wind isn't blowing anymore, so the town is falling into disrepair and ruin. And we're getting this like other kind of story as well of like the people who seem to live in this town, where it's like a young boy and his mother, and they're reverent to some kind of religious kind of faith, and the boys are kind of sick, so you kind of like a bit run down and say, oh, but like if you just like let's pray to the Lord, and he might be chosen by the Lord, and he would like bestow his blessing upon you, and he does, and that blessing is horrific genetic and chemical experiments. Yeah,
so the kid here is just like, hey, congratulations, ma'am. Your kid who's listening in the next room is going to be sacrificed to do so we can get the win back. And she's like, oh, praise be. And the kid's like, I'm running the fuck away. And unfortunately for him, he runs across at that time still younger, I guess, but still exactly the same age, Vash the Stampede. And Vash is kind of like, hey, kid, you're running away from home. I'll help you out and bring you home. It was the wrong mistake. That would have been good in any other circumstance other than the fact that they're going to sacrifice this child, by which I mean give him to a bunch of creepy scientists who run a bunch of experiments on him.
Yes. And it's pretty obvious from the outset that, like, the hulking Bruce with the Gatling gun arms who's like chasing Vash around and is obsessed with kind of hunting, like with chasing him away, is obviously it's a child who is like. The
reason he's saying the name is because Vash said, is like, if you ever need me, just call out for me. I'll come running. I'll come if you need me. And he needs him right now, but he needs him to kill him. And Vash is like, I can't do that. And Wolfwood is like, I really can, and I would, and I will. And it's really good because it's like a lot of physical kind of space used very well, but also like the kind of big hulking brute thing. I love the kind of imposed skull face on top of the helmet he's wearing. There's a lot of great visual kind of stuff to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different kind of redesign. This is like it's meant to be one of the gung ho guns. This is Monev the Gale, and he was just like kind of like a bad man mercenary. He had a Gatling gun now, but essentially like Naito was a big fan of Marvel comics. Monev is Venom spelled backwards. So it's basically, what if you had Venom, you put even down to the kind of distinctive eye markings and put some Gatling guns on him, and that everything. I suppose they couldn't do that, so they went to a bit of a redesign with the it's kind of like a Vulcan Raven with a big thing in the back,
Yeah, with the two big Gatling guns, and it works quite well. But Wolfwood obviously does the kill shot on this guy, and not before like revealing the skull face kind of thing disappearing and it being the child's face, because the kid is a distinctive birthmark, but grown up into this huge hulking monster that he's been turned into. And Wolf was like, sometimes you gotta fucking kill people, Vash. Killing people is cool, actually.
Well, he's like a high one saying, you fucking like you want to go out and save everybody, but then you fucking just make promises you can't keep, man, because you're only one person and you're fucking like asking like everybody to kind of go along by these rules, but it doesn't always fucking work that way. It doesn't quite work that way, and sometimes it's like doing that is even worse, because this might have happened to this kid. This could have been caught up in the same, but he went into that now fucking believing, hoping he would come and bail him out, and he fucking didn't.
And you'd save him, yeah,
and that's kind of like just as bad in itself. You may as well just fucking put a bullet in his head the fucking minute you met him,
And that contrasts really well with the next episode, which is, hey, how did Wolfwood get in this situation? Same way, kind of. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's like really again compacting in a lot of stuff.
I saw one of the complaints of this one because it combines like obviously Wolfwood's backstory with I was going to say with the boat. It's not a boat. It's a sand
steamer.
Sand steamer. I couldn't think of the name of it. And the neon guys who show up, I've forgotten their name as well.
They're the bad lads. The bad lads.
So it's like a lot of stuff condensed into one thing. It works in this, but I can see it like upsetting people that you're doing all these separate stories and just mushing them into one episode kind of thing.
It's all right, like, because you kind of just kind of fold it in like with like Knight's henchmen, and you have like these guys now. There's like they're the Eye of Michael. They're like basically kind of the cult that worships knives, but their whole deal is like they train and create via horrible experiments the best assassins and hitmen going around. And there's like orphanages, or an orphanage anyway, for like, no, we're just taking all these kids, we'll raise them and take care of them. But if they have the right stuff, where we will just like offload them to these dudes because they have great compatibility and they're going to raise them into the best fucking killers around. But it's kind of intercut then, because it's like little kind of things, kind of little done in a storybook style.
It's a really nice style. Like it's like it's basically from Wolfwood's perspective as a kid, because a lot of the textures are a lot simpler, and it's not that the animation is more old style, but it's like it's less detail is filled in. It feels more childish that way. Yeah,
pastely effect put onto it, and it's nice, and it had this little narration, little like cards in it and what they're doing with that, and it's him kind of bonding with like the new kid that gets brought in, Livio. He's just like a little crybaby. He's obviously had a rough time of it, and Wolfwood is a bit more kind of hardened, and he kind of takes the kid under his wing, and kind of being going to be the big brother to him. But then Wolfwood gets taken away then to be turned into the next one, and then he escapes out of that, or tries to escape out of that, and saying, when you try and get away again, we're going from Livio here. He's volunteered to take your place if you don't do it. So either you submit to our will or he does. This is also going to bring in fucking the right hand man of Knives, Legato, who has like some kind of ability. They haven't disclosed yet how it works, but he can kind of manipulate people and control their bodies and make them kind of contort into horrible, twisting, spasmy shapes, and looks very agonizing.
The reason we're going into Wolfwood's backstory as well is because going on the sand steamer to, I forgot what the name of the capital is again.
To go into July, and crossing the ocean, you kind of go sailing around the Horn all the way to July.
Yeah. But obviously this former friend of Wolfwood, has shown up in this, and he's like, what the fuck is he doing here? So this is him like going like, you're seeing his backstory as to why this guy shouldn't be here, because Wolfwood is out doing the job he was supposed to do. So, and he's here on this boat trying to kill Vash the Stampede, as everyone is always showing up to do. So it's a combination of Vash trying to not kill this guy and make sure no one else gets hurt, and a lot of people getting hurt, and Wolfwood trying to go like, I did say killing's the right choice in the last episode, but I don't want to do it in this case.
It's getting thrown right back into his face. Fun.
Yeah,
like, you can't protect everybody, Vash. No, this isn't the way the world works. Fun.
And this is the one guy he wants to protect. Yeah.
So you want to protect like Vash because you've been like given like a reason, like an order for doing so, but also you want to protect Livio as well. No, and all as well, you don't want to get caught in the crossfire. And also the bad lads gang have turned up, and it was well because they have planned like a raid on this boat. Merrill and Robert De Niro are kind of fun. We're off this case. It's too dangerous. It's just let's go back to the paper and write up the story. Well, I'm saying, well, nothing saying we can't just like kind of keep following the scenery and saying, okay, are you sure you want to do this on your first fight? Yep. Are you sure? Yep. They catch all those dudes squatting, creating off Mad Max style before they grapple onto the thing and take it out. So it's gone right head on the handbasket for the close of it. Because no fun. It's just like some of this. What I can't practically really fucking throwing a lot at you. They are like keeping it interesting with the kind of visual stuff. But besides, like, you know, in the kind of storybook flashback things, you know, we have like the horrible process that Wolfwood goes under. Then is just getting these nightmarish visions, and it goes all kind of squiggly and neon and kind of very fucking psychedelic. It's really cool looking. Like
in just even the second episode, like the first episode is quite simple, and it kind of flashes between the past and the present quite well, and it uses the physical space of this hulking brute chasing them and the meaning of that. And the second one has so many different visuals, like even the bad boys showing up at the end with their neon fucking smoke kind of coming in. It's just like there's a lot of different visual flavor in the second one. Like it's a lot packed in, but it doesn't feel overblown or overbloated to me. They've managed to stitch them together quite well for me, anyway.
Yeah. It's like a gunfight breaks out. Someone fires a shot, and then now everyone's reaching for their guns, and then just such a hail of bullets and chaos flying everywhere. Like, you know, and it's just like a real looking spree. It's a good kind of chaotic. You know, you can kind of see it goes right out of hand so quickly. And you can see some more cool guns as well, like Livio. He's
two little crosses. Yeah,
he's Livio the double fang. So he has like kind of the crosses, but a kind of a submachine gun. It's like, you know, it can shoot two ways at once. It's pretty neat.
And it flips around as a different, like a second machine gun in it, so no reloading required, kind of thing. Yeah. And
Vash is getting kind of close crossing to kind of grapple him like that, but he kind of just goes up like that, and it's like a kind of boom, boom, can shoot out both ways. And Vash making cool use of like the robot arm. He's just kind of going up like that and kind of taking a bullet out there and kind of batting it off. Like there's some like real consideration going into like the stunts and things going into them.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's going to be the definitive version of Trigun. It is like an amalgamation of prior stuff, but I appreciate what it's doing differently.
It's trying to hit like there's a lot of these one big high points, you know, like you probably could have gone a little longer for him, bringing like kind of do like a Wolfwood thing into it as well. Maybe like you kind of see reason more why he'd be so kind of conflicted, because he's here because he needs to kind of guide Vash along, and either like you know, again, it's all nicest plan to try and break his morals, trying to break his spirit, and to make him like, you know, reject his principles and him a question. But like even Wolfwood can see, like, I wish I could kind of be as simple as that, because I wouldn't be doing this except the fact I wouldn't be like kind of the fucking junkyard dog who takes out all of, like, you know, any deserters or any stragglers from the Eye of Michael. It's my job to fucking clean house, essentially. What I'm doing is because if it's either me or the rest of the children at the orphanage get this done to them, or they'll go through as many of them as they will, doing horrific things to them until I find someone that's equally kind of compatible as I am with their drugs and chemicals. So yeah, a real fucking meat grinder of a thing. And whereas kind of prospect then is just like, you know, he's got a simplistic kind of worldview, maybe kind of, she's in kind of black and white things, but like he's at best like a teenager in an adult's body. But, you know, maybe he's like a like Jigen was a pretty tough kid, so who's to say, I was getting a lot of that vibe off of him, right? I'm just kind of a bit of.
It doesn't help that we're watching this after like Lupin Zero is the other thing I was thinking. A little tough kid, that kind of.
It's probably just designed for it as well because he always had shades, but he has the shades on constantly, and so you don't see his eyes so much, and I guess with the like he gets the hat pulled over his eyes. But then he gets to do cool stuff when he takes the regenerative drug when he takes like a load of bullets and just kind of snaps off the little vial and kind of twists it off. But when he's kind of up on that, you get the kind of red eye Terminator effect going on in him. It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, there's a lot happening. It's really picked up there in those two.
Then you got Inspector, Season 2, Episode 17, Rikka Returns, and Episode 18, Electroshock Pinocchio.
Electroshock Pinocchio is like my favorite title in a long time. I don't know why it sounds so fucking good to me. Someone make that a band or something. Come on.
It is JoJo-esque, isn't it? Yeah. The former one is just like kind of where is Rikka these days? Well, she's kind of turned up. She's kind of like just rented a flat somewhere. She's moving around places.
She's basically Incredible Hulking across the country, like moving from town to town because there's motherfuckers chasing her. But is she doing any crimes? I mean, she's booking. She's got a bunch of money on horses, which is how she's making her money, betting on the horse races. But other than that, she's not really doing anything. But the fact that she's in the prior season, she was trying to make a ghost so strong it could kill even her is kind of like, we do need to nip that in the bud because that's a bit of a fucking problem. But she's not actually doing any crimes here, and the landlord and his girlfriend who are just like she's renting a room off kind of thing is just like, we had trouble renting the room because like there'd been like 3 suicides within a year in the same room, so we didn't think we'd get it.
It's spooky.
And and it's kind of like just Rikka like going like she actually saves a kid from getting hit by a van, gets hit by the van herself, presumably killed, and then comes back as like, I'm fine. And what's the line your man used? I got hit by the blunt side of a van. Like when they hit you with the blunt side of the sword, I got hit with the blunt side of the van, and it's like, the fuck are you talking
about? Anyways, I was going to get to the hospital. That'd be grand, and sorry for the trouble earlier on. You just get the whole ticket fun. Yeah, man, you won like fun 10 grand on a horse race. Oh, pretty good, fun. No, good to get back to us, and it's kind of tell me about them, It's just like, there's like, got this like cousin of mine. He's got a girlfriend I don't really approve of, fun saying, oh man, she sounds like an awful bitch. Fun saying, yeah, she is, hoping to run into
She's
her.
a real manipulative dick. Yeah. For unrelated reasons, I need to run away now. So she's gonna appear here, and that whole problem with your multiple suicides in this apartment, she's gonna sort that right out. So you'll be able to rent it at a more reasonable price, and people will want to rent it because it's not spooky.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it? Like after she kind of legs it and pays her rent and everything, but that weird little fucking girl, they're just like, I didn't expect her to be like a little cute girl, but she is actually really annoying. I get what
she's
saying about it.
It's absolutely horrible. And it's like, don't mind my girlfriend, she's like, just a little bit kind of, a bit kind of weird type of fun, but just give her a break. What you're saying when you were going down on me last night, just stop, please. It's like,
please, not in public. Good Lord, please stop. Please stop doing this.
I see how Rikka doesn't like her. Yeah. That's pretty awful. He explains it all away from saying no ghosts involved here. Like, it was just like the first dude was obviously in some trouble, and then the second suicide she was heartbroken, and then the third one was her boyfriend, and he obviously felt some guilt over it, and he ate him up inside.
He moved into the apartment expecting it. A guy committed suicide, then my ex-girlfriend committed suicide here after I broke up with her. So if I go there, there'll be a ghost, and that will prove that nothing was wrong. And then there was no ghost, and he was like, shit, I guess I just caused her to get so depressed that she killed herself. Now I will kill myself and make it look like a ghost did it, and therefore my family name will be honored. And it's just like, that's dumb. So like you can spread that story and then it'll be fine. You'll be able to rent the apartment at a reasonable price this time. And we gotta catch that Rikka. One of these days we'll catch up to her as she hobos from town to town.
Yeah, the second one was a bit more interesting. It's just like it's a bit of a reverse I Am Sushi thing. We have a hard-boiled old lady, and then a very kind of meek kind of cat or a bakeneko cat spirit. But she took it, you know, she's like a hard-boiled old lady, you know, who works out and jogs every day. She's like 80 odd, and she keeps on.
It's really, she's a great character because she's like, just like, I'm constantly running and jogging in the morning, and she's like, the cat's like, get up off your fat cat ass and do some fucking exercise. Like, I'm a cat, and it's like, why don't you kill me and take over my body? And the cat's like, well, number one, you're old. Number two, I'd have to pay taxes and shit. I'm just going to be a cat who's just going to scam alcohol off of you specifically. It revealed it could talk by going like, please give me some booze, and she's like, fucking talking cat. But the problem in the town is that all the fish are dead in the fucking water, and that's going to really affect the tourism industry. And the mayor's the very fat mayor is chasing after her,
shocking after her.
And she's like, get fit, mayor, come on, I'm fucking living my life, the best life, I've never been healthier. But he's like, yeah, could you help us out with this thing? It's like, I don't know, I'll hire like a priest or something to come on the way, but she doesn't have to do that because the back in Echo's like, don't worry, we've contacted our goddess and she's going to come here and sort it all out.
Yep.
But not before the local yokai try to sort it out themselves.
Yeah, there's a mannequin that's this outlet, and basically it's a curse put in the town because the grandchild got hit by a car. And basically it's the tourism industry's fault because they couldn't get out because so many people had illegal parking. Traffic backed up.
They couldn't get the ambulance out soon enough. And various other fucking things basically caused that. And obviously it was a bunch of tourists that ran over the kid, and so he carved a little wooden boy for himself.
It could shoot lightning off its hand.
Yeah, it has a magic stone in its arm, and it does have a long nose like a Pinocchio. And all the monsters and yokai and stuff are scared of this thing because they try and say, "Hey, little wooden boy who lives in the mountains and comes down into the sea to electrocute the fish at night. Cut it out. You're making it bad for us." But as soon as you get near to him, he electrocutes you. So not really much they can do about it. And they try to ambush him, and they got a great plan. Their local hero, giant monkey man with a big stick, tries to hit him with a stick. And also there's a giant crab in the water sneaking up on him. Pretty clever. Ooh. But yeah, he shoots lightning. So the crab gets
electrocuted. He's a water type. He's weak against lightning.
I think he gets hit. I think he's fine because he is a ghost. I'm not sure you can kill a ghost with lightning, but you can certainly hurt a crab with lightning. So, you know.
Yeah. Maybe the legends will that disperse and we come back again in 100 years like Kidoro does.
Yeah. But our big monkey man doesn't quite make it, despite how big and powerful he is. He cannot defeat the Electroshock Pinocchio.
We got Hanazawa to the professionals then, you know. So obviously they come by. Like, I'll take the case and. We'll see how they explain this one away. And I think it's a curse laid upon the town, like, you know, as well, because, you know, they gave away all the fucking, didn't focus on the fishing or what didn't go on town because they said the film from this dumbass like drama series about a fish man detective, and it was very popular for a while. Everyone started coming here, but now that the TV show is over, so what have we got left? Nothing. Yeah,
the town was really popular for tourism last year because of this fucking fish detective, and I was just like, I hope the fish detective is part of the solution because damn man, that was very funny. That made me laugh pretty good.
All the pieces are there,
yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a weird one, and again, like you say, it introduces like some cool new character elements, like cool old lady and lazy cat.
I like Ty. Yeah, this like doesn't take any kind of bullshit off of anybody, and it's just like fun saying this. And again, like immediately after Kotoko and Kuroko Bobber was fun saying this little twerp, this little fucker right here, fucking this with her ears, one coming right in, and just assuming everything about me. I'll fucking I'll work with her, but I won't like it.
Right, we're going to pause the stream here because it's been going incredibly slowly for a bit.
Oh no.
All right. I gotta turn the heating up, I think.